The Mystery of the Black Dahlia, a Case Study. Chapter 1. The Woman in the Vacant Lot. It was a cold January morning in 1947 when Betty Berzinger, a local housewife on her way to the grocer, strolled past an empty lot on Norton Avenue in Los Angeles. What she saw would haunt her forever. A lifeless figure lay sprawled in the dirt, grotesquely arranged and eerily calm. At first glance, she thought it was a discarded mannequin. But as she moved closer, the truth hit her like a freight train. It was a body. The victim was a young woman, split cleanly in two at the waist. Her pale, lifeless skin seemed almost luminous against the dark earth, and her face bore a horrifying smile. A ghastly Glasgow grin carved from ear to ear. Her body had been drained of blood, leaving her with a waxy pallor that felt otherworldly. Betty stumbled backward, her scream echoing through the empty lot. Within hours, the Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, descended on the scene, setting the stage for one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history, the case of the Black Dahlia. Chapter 2. A Name to the Face. The victim was soon identified as 22-year-old Elizabeth Short, an aspiring actress from Massachusetts who had come to Los Angeles chasing dreams of stardom. The press, ever hungry for sensationalism, dubbed her the Black Dahlia, inspired by her striking dark hair, penchant for black clothing, and perhaps a nod to the popular noir film The Blue Dahlia. Elizabeth's life was a tapestry of contradictions. To some, she was a charming, wide-eyed girl with Hollywood aspirations. To others, she was a mysterious drifter who moved from place to place, leaving little more than unanswered questions in her wake. Her trail led investigators through the smoky bars and glittering clubs of post-war Los Angeles, where she mingled with servicemen, actors, and drifters. Friends and acquaintances painted conflicting portraits of Elizabeth. She was either a sweet, innocent girl caught in the wrong crowd, or a manipulative woman who used her beauty to survive. But who would want her dead, and in such a brutal, ritualistic fashion? Chapter 3. The investigation begins. The LAPD's initial investigation was chaotic. The media frenzy surrounding the case turned Elizabeth Short into a posthumous celebrity, with reporters often outpacing detectives to potential leads. Hundreds of tips flooded in, and more than 60 people confessed to the crime in the first few weeks, though none were credible. Coroner's reports revealed chilling details. Elizabeth had been tortured for hours before her death. Her body bore cuts and abrasions consistent with a sadistic killer who enjoyed inflicting pain. The precision of the bisection suggested surgical skill, leading detectives to suspect a doctor or medical professional. Detectives Harry Hansen and Finis Brown led the investigation. Their first step was to retrace Elizabeth's final days. Witnesses placed her at the Biltmore Hotel in downtown Los Angeles on January 9th, where she had arranged to meet a mysterious man. From there, she vanished, only to reappear as a mutilated corpse 6 days later. Chapter 4. The Suspects. The list of suspects grew long, and each lead seemed to deepen the mystery. Among the most prominent suspects was Mark Hansen, a nightclub owner who had housed Elizabeth briefly and reportedly made unwanted advances toward her. His connection to the Los Angeles underworld made him a person of interest, but no concrete evidence linked him to the crime. Another suspect was George Hodel, a wealthy and eccentric doctor with a sinister reputation. Hodel's own son, Steve Hodel, a retired LAPD detective, would later claim that his father was the Black Dahlia killer. Steve's investigation uncovered chilling evidence, including photographs of a woman resembling Elizabeth Short in George Hodel's belongings and a cryptic journal entry referencing the Dahlia case. Other suspects included transient men, jealous lovers, and even corrupt police officers. Each theory was more lurid than the last, yet none could be definitively proven. Chapter 5. The Media Circus. The Black Dahlia case became a media sensation, with newspapers publishing salacious headlines and gruesome details that kept the public riveted. Elizabeth's image was splashed across front pages, her personal life dissected for public consumption. She was painted as everything from a naive dreamer to a femme fatale, depending on the narrative of the day. The press's interference often hampered the investigation. Evidence was leaked, witnesses were harassed, and false confessions poured in. The LAPD struggled to separate fact from fiction in an atmosphere thick with sensationalism and speculation. Chapter 6: Theories and Cover UPS. Over the decades, countless theories have emerged about who killed Elizabeth Short and why. Some believe her murder was the work of a serial killer, linking her case to similar unsolved homicides from the era. Others point to a police cover-up, suggesting that powerful individuals shielded the real killer from justice. One chilling theory involves the infamous murder mansion in Los Angeles, where George Hodel is said to have conducted illegal abortions and possibly murdered women. Audio recordings from a police bug planted in Hodel's home captured him saying, "Supposin' I did kill the Black Dahlia. They can't prove it now." Despite the tantalizing evidence against him, Hodel was never formally charged. He fled to Asia in the 1950s, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions. Chapter 7: The Enduring Mystery. To this day, the Black Dahlia case remains one of the most infamous unsolved murders in American history. Experts, armchair detectives, and true crime enthusiasts continue to pore over the evidence, hoping to uncover the truth. Forensic advancements have brought new insights, but the case remains as elusive as ever. Elizabeth Short's legacy endures not just as a victim, but as a symbol of Hollywood's dark underbelly, a place where dreams and nightmares intertwine. Her story is a haunting reminder of the price some pay for chasing the American dream. Epilogue: The Ghost of Norton Avenue. The vacant lot on Norton Avenue is no longer empty. Time has erased the physical traces of Elizabeth Short's tragic end, but her spirit lingers in the collective memory of Los Angeles. Her story, equal parts cautionary tale and unsolvable enigma, continues to captivate, a black rose in the garden of Hollywood lore. And somewhere, perhaps in the shadows of forgotten alleys or the pages of old case files, the answer lies waiting to be found.